All better.
Destination. Enjoy your stay.
Exactly as reported. A Degree 6 revolt, population equivalent to the Duros uprising on Zilior. Subjects occupy a moderate radius of jungle. Good. Good. Welcome, apprentice. Your timing couldn't be better. I am Lord Drow. When the Empire encounters resistance on its conquered worlds, they call me. I'm here to end the slave uprising on Dromund Kaas.
I wasn't aware there was a slave revolt going on.
Very soon there won't be. You can assist me in ending it. The situation is this. A Sith Lord was constructing a colossal statue of himself in the jungle. His slaves revolted and armed themselves. The Colossus remains unfinished, and well-armed slaves now control the jungle. An embarrassment for the Empire, but an opportunity for me.
I don't appreciate dramatic pauses.
Excited? Good. This is a chance to refine the Empire's methods of suppressing rebellion. I'm testing a toxic weapon, a poison called Quell. Its victims experience a prolonged state of agonizing pain before finally dying. The victims' allies are so horrified by Quell's effects they lose their wills to resist. At least that's what I intend to prove.
That is deeply disturbing.
That's one of the things I love best about it. I need someone to introduce a controlled amount of Quell into the slaves' water supply, so that I can determine the proper dosage. The work is dangerous, there will be armed slaves everywhere, but your success will be well rewarded. What do you say?
I prefer to deal death more directly to my opponents.
My methods extend well beyond the lightsaber's reach, my friend. Expand your horizons. My assistant, Sergeant Slerin, will recommend the correct dosage of Quell and give you a supply. See him at the research tent.
I know Lord Drow's tastes, which unfortunately I do. He sent you for the Quell toxin.
I'm helping him put down the slave revolt.
Do you truly understand what he's asked you to do? What if I told you this experiment is pointless? That past studies have shown increased suffering has no impact on the speed of surrender. This has nothing to do with accelerating the end of a rebellion. Lord Drow simply takes perverse thrill in gratuitous suffering.
I'm sure Lord Drow wouldn't appreciate these comments.
Don't get me wrong, Lord Drow is very good at what he does, but he lets his personal bents impede our efficiency. I want this assignment over with. The faster this rebellion ends, the faster I'll be reassigned to more important work. Serving Lord Drow's bloodlust has stunted my career. If not for his inefficiency, I'd be a captain by now.
How very unfortunate.
I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm looking for an ally. Lord Drow's dosage of quell toxin will have slaves writhing in agony for pointless weeks, during which this area will remain volatile. I've prepared a dose that will kill the slaves efficiently, which is better for the Empire and for me. Will you deliver my dosage instead?
Let's end this revolt efficiently and kill off these renegades.
Wonderful. It's the right thing for everyone. Well, almost everyone. I'll give you a maximum dose of quell toxin. Inject it into the slave camp's water filtration systems and see Lord Drow afterward.
If I die, I'm going to haunt you.
I don't understand why it didn't work. I was meticulous with my measurements. Those slaves must be more fragile than I thought. The quell you put in their water supply is killing them outright.
It pains me to hear that.
It's simply infuriating. All that careful planning for nothing. All my research is now useless. Oh well. You did as I asked, and your payment was not contingent on the results. Here, take your credits and go. I have a great deal of thinking to do.
Commander Pritch at your service, my lord. Lord Barris informed me you'd be paying us a visit. I'm prepared to offer full assistance.
Aren't you a good little soldier?
Lord Barris has always found me so, lord. Permit me to update you on the situation here. There's been much unrest in these parts recently, my lord, capped off by a violent slave revolt that has the surrounding jungles overrun with armed slaves.
Then they're not slaves anymore, are they?
I stand corrected, my lord. Former slaves. What no one knows is that Lord Barras orchestrated the insurgents to disrupt one of his rivals, and he wants his involvement kept secret. Now the slave captains who led the revolt are threatening to expose Barras's involvement unless they receive more potent weapons.
Continue, Commander.
Lord Barras wants you to kill enough of the blackmailing slave captains to make the others lose their resolve.
Violence is not always the answer.
Well, I suppose. Many of these slave captains are former criminals with ties to the underworld. In fact, some have been selling their fellow slaves to the black market. If their followers found out, they'd be furious. If I had proof that they're selling their own people back into slavery, I could blackmail the slave captains to stop blackmailing Lord Barras.
What kind of proof?
I bet they keep records of their transactions. If you rifle the slave captains' footlockers and find proof, I'll do what I can to use it against them.
It's worth a try.
However you want to deal with it, my lord. The slave captains have their home base around the unfinished Colossus. I'll await any proof you salvage from the slave captain's belongings.
Hey, my lord, right? Not sure about my propers with you folks. Seeing as how you're already killing slaves and causing a fuss, how'd you like to make a pile of credits?
Can't have too many credits?
That's what I like to hear. Let me give you the lowdown. So Darth Valron is on the Dark Council, and his apprentice Lord Ket wants to advance, so he starts building a giant statue to his master. But Lord Ket doesn't want his master to know, so he brings in slaves from off-world. Slaves rebel, and we get this mess.
Buy cheap slaves and get a rebellion. Everyone knows that.
Here's where it gets complicated. Lord Ket wants to save face, but secretly. He calls in me and my mercs. By the time we get here, the slaves have captured some giant industrial drills, and they're getting ready to bring down the whole giant statue. Our best team goes in with explosives to blow up the drills. Slaves kill every last one. Got a pile of credits for anyone who grabs those explosives, hooks them to a giant drill, then fights off slaves until the explosives detonate.
My lord? Look at them out there. They're like animals. Hundreds of slaves with no one to command them and without a thought in their minds as to what to do with their freedom. Like I said, the slaves are animals. But we've noticed strange behavior in the pack. And my superiors want to know more. Some of the slaves are killing each other. We don't know if they're mad or hungry, desperate, or if there's a faction of slaves who've turned on the rest.
You've been observing them. Give me your best guess.
I don't really know. Who can fathom the mind of a slave? We know that the killings are ritualistic. The murderous slaves come in the night, stab their foes, and paint themselves in blood. If you could investigate, catch them in the act and take them down, maybe you could find a clue to their motives.
I'll return when I've discovered more.
Look for any slave who's turned on his peers. With luck, he'll lead us to answers.
That's right. This always does the trick. All better.
You're not the initiate. You are Sith. You honor us with your presence, mighty lord. Welcome to our prison.
What sort of freak of a slave are you?
I am Traga Unvol, leader of the Unchained. I am master of my hatred. When the other slaves broke free, I laughed. Like you, I knew their escape was a delusion, for only Sith possess true freedom.
Some elaboration is required.
I know the Sith code. Freedom comes through power, through victory. I saw a chance to prove myself. I culled weak from strong. I began to kill and to teach. I showed slaves freedom through bloodshed. Now my followers and I are the masters here. And soon, we will become Sith ourselves.
I'm guessing insanity runs in your family.
Look how these pathetic free men tremble at the sight of me. Now, glorious lord, you can spread word of us to the Empire. Give us your blessing, and we shall serve. Carry our message of allegiance to your masters, and we will become the new face of the Empire. We will be champions of the dark side.
You're nothing but a murderer. What you're doing is disgusting.
My lord, how can you say this? All we've done, the blood we've spilled, it has all been for you. Tell us then, how else may we achieve true strength and respect of the Sith?
I'm not the one to teach you, but learn the Sith ways before fighting.
But we believed. I believed. I will spread your message to the others. We will do as you say.
Nobody better mess with us now.
That was a fantastic show. That drill just lit up the night. Here's the credits, as promised.
All better.
It's good to see you back. I knew those slaves couldn't hold their own against you. I take it you managed to track down one of the murderers. What's their story? Can we use them?
No, not without lowering ourselves to their level.
Fair enough. We needn't to mar our dignity by associating with filth. I talked to my superiors while you were gone, and they agreed to compensate you for your work. So, here. More credits than I make in a week. I'd ask you to stick around in case the slaves cause more trouble, but I suppose you have other responsibilities.
It would have been nice to put an end to this rebellion.
We'll find another way to put those animals down. If the uprising gets out of control, one quick orbital strike will always solve it. Good luck to you then, and thank you again.
My lord, you're back. Did you find sufficient proof that the slave captains are selling their people back into slavery?
The slave captains kept logbooks.
Most impressive, my lord. I can see why Lord Barris has such faith in you. Now I can threaten to expose the truth. If the slave captains don't want to be torn limb from limb, they'll stop blackmailing Lord Barris. I must stay, my lord. It's been inspiring watching you work.
Prostrate yourself elsewhere, Imperial.
I'm sorry if I've angered you. I'll inform Lord Barris that the situation has been handled.
Destination?
I don't care what you do. Break my bones, burn my flesh. I'll tell you nothing.
I will not be denied.
Go spit, you monster!
I didn't know bodies could bend like that. I think I'm gonna be sick.
Spare yourself. You shouldn't have to see this.
Ah, apprentice, you've returned. Commander Pritch confirmed that the slaves have been silenced. Good. I'm still trying to extract the information I crave from this Republic agent. He's much more resilient than anticipated.
I thought you said you were good at this.
Now is not a good time to test me, apprentice. Even as I brutalize him, I twist the Force to keep him alive and feeling every sensation.
That is the cruelest thing I've ever heard.
I have another important task for you. It involves a renegade Sith Lord named Grathan, a particularly bothersome thorn in my side. Meet with my apprentice, Drykel Ball. He's my covert operative in Gratham's compound. Ball claims to have made a key discovery.
I thought I might be your only apprentice. That makes Ball my rival.
Try to tolerate him long enough to get the details and conclude your business there. Grathan's presence is useful to me, so I don't want him killed, just crippled. Find out what Ball has discovered, and do exactly as he instructs.
Is your other apprentice above me in the pecking order?
I'm sure he views himself as your better, but he has merely been here longer. Now then, Republic wretch, where were we? Oh, yes. Tell me what I wish to know.
Destination? Enjoy your stay.
This always does the trick. Nobody better mess with them.
to be respected, you know. My word carried weight. One tiny mistake and suddenly no one trusts me. My troops were acting strangely, plotting something. Obviously they were traitors. All the warning signs were there. The smart move was to kill them all. How could I know they were planning a surprise party for my promotion?
You killed all the troops under your command?
I was under a lot of stress at the time. I've got my wits about me now. You have to listen to me. This time, I'm not being paranoid. This time, I've identified a major threat to Imperial security. There are Kubaz spies all over the jungle, and they're invisible. You can only see them when lightning flashes disrupt their stealth technology.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Just like my superiors dismissing me because of a simple past mistake. You have to believe me. The Empire's enemies are up to something. The Kubaz are here assessing our strengths and weaknesses for them. I just know it. Scour the jungle, watch the lightning flashes, and strike when you see a Kubaz. Kill the snouted scum and bring me proof.